Well, hello, St. Patrick's. I hope everyone's getting excited for St. Patrick's Day. For the guided Eucharist, we're having the morning of Sunday the 16th, and of course, the big bash we're having with food and music and activities later on in the day. We're really looking forward to it. And of course, St. Patrick's Day is a big day for our church because he's our namesake. You could say he's our patron saint. And so I've been asked to share a few things that I wrote up that might be helpful for your individual devotions this upcoming week, maybe your family devotions, or whatever celebrations you might have planned for St. Patrick's Day. What I wrote up could be treated as a kind of a standalone little devotional to be done by yourself or with your family, or if you have existing devotional rhythms, maybe the daily office, morning and evening prayer. What I wrote could easily, you can select one or two things that you like from here and just add it to whatever you do already. But if you're treating it as a standalone devotional, I would begin by praying the Lord's Prayer together and then read the two scripture readings. These are two scripture readings from Psalm 96 and Matthew 13 that are often read for St. Patrick's Day, as well as for days that commemorate other great evangelists and missionaries of the faith. So as Anglicans, when we look at the church calendar, really it's a way to thank God for great men and women of the faith who are examples for us, as well as just recognizing God's work in history to raise up great leaders. People like St. Patrick, he's considered a bishop and apostle to the Irish. I think that's a really cool title that the Book of Common Prayer gives him because, he brings the gospel to a whole new land and people group. And so after the Lord's Prayer and your scripture readings, you'll pray that brief collect from the Book of Common Prayer, and that's what it's going to focus on, is the way God used him to bring the gospel to a new nation. And then we move into a little reading that's actually an excerpt from St. Patrick's own writings. He wrote something called his Confession, which is like a short little memoir or manifesto of his life and work. And it's a really beautiful meditation on the Trinity. The Trinity was a doctrine that wasn't just a heady, theological thing that he learned in the classroom, but it was central to St. Patrick's devotion to God in his personal life, as well as to his preaching of the gospel. That's why he's usually pictured with a shamrock, as the legend goes. He used the shamrock to explain the Trinity. You can also read the full text of the Confession if you'd like. I included a link. And a way you can end this devotion is by praying a prayer called the St. Patrick's Breastplate. Now, this may not have been written by St. Patrick himself, but it's certainly in the same vein as St. Patrick's other work and many other Celtic saints, in that, for one thing, it really underscores the reality of the Trinity and prays about that in a beautiful way. It sees God's work and glory in creation, and it asks in a beautiful way for God's presence and protection in your daily life. There's also a lot of great folk, choral, and hymn settings of the song, contemporary as well. So one thing you might want to do is listen to or sing one or two of those settings together. You can even build a playlist of all the different settings. I included a few other links at the end, more not devotional, just more celebratory. First of all, an old cheesy documentary about St. Patrick's life that my wife Mary Beth grew up with. Kind of a fun little thing that the kids might enjoy, learning more about him. Then there's another something that's goofy, is a little meme video about the doctrine of the Trinity and how the clover, even though Patrick is often depicted with a clover or shamrock, it's probably not the best analogy for the Trinity. In fact, there's actually not that many good analogies for the Trinity out there because it's something that kind of bends the mind. So this is a funny little meme video that will actually teach you something. It's pretty educational about the doctrine of the Trinity. I've included a great podcast, again, great for both adults and kids, but it's kind of a Adventures in Odyssey style radio drama about the life of St. Patrick. And to close, I've included a few ways that people can eat and drink to celebrate. It's a great time to get into your Irish heritage, or to pretend that you have Irish heritage. That's what I do, by maybe baking some Irish soda bread. I included a pretty simple recipe that maybe the whole family can join in on. Or for the adults in the room, they can enjoy a classic Irish cocktail, like the Irish ale cocktail or an Irish coffee, one of my favorites. Or you could go simple and just have a can of Guinness. But I hope some of those are helpful. I'd love to hear your thoughts on what I've shared and any traditions that your family has around St. Patrick's Day, and hope to see you on Sunday. May the peace of Christ be with you.